Hey folks, Todd at Freedom Fighter Tactical. Welcome to the channel. Today's video is going to be top 5 summer items that were kind of surprise hits here in summer of 2025. Thought you guys would be interested in seeing what people are putting on their guns this summer. Let's get started right now. Hey folks, again, my name is Todd, Freedom Fighter Tactical. Welcome to the channel. I've been the leader in Benelli M4 parts since 2008. We are official Benelli dealers. We are Mesa Tactical dealers, A&S shotguns, all sorts of dealers for lots of different things. We also make our own stuff and carry a large selection, if not one of the largest selections, of OEM parts for the Benelli M4 in the United States and pretty much worldwide. Been doing it for 18 years. Phone numbers down below, phone numbers on the website. You can call or text me anytime. You can email me at the contact page on the website. The website has a little text feature and you can text me through that if you'd like. It all goes to my cell phone. And I'm pretty responsive 365 days a year. So if you're looking to outfit your Benelli M4, look no further. You have arrived at the right place, freedomfightertactical.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button down below, hit the bell so you're notified of future videos, and leave a comment if you have any questions. And of course, you can direct all questions to me at all the places I just said a minute ago if you'd like. So I'm going to be mixing it up as we go into the fall of 2025, and we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about 5 items that I thought were kind of surprise hits this summer. They're not necessarily items that don't sell, but they're items that just sold more than I would have expected they would have sold. And we're going to start with the A60097, which is the Benelli OEM door breach compensator part that attaches on the Benelli M4. This is a great part. It's a Benelli OEM part. It's a Trulock choke that I had made for this part because getting the adapters from Benelli was pretty much an impossibility. And to use this part, you must have a threaded barrel. So if you're buying your shotgun and you want to use this part, or if you're wanting a removable choke and you're gonna wanna use different chokes for whatever reason you may have, you want the barrel with the threading in it. If you have the built-in choke that comes on a lot of the M1014 law enforcement style shotguns, you're gonna be out of luck unless you buy a new barrel, and buying new barrels are never fun. I think I'm out of them in black now. They're always hard to find, they're always expensive. So if you can find a gun on the shelf that has it already with the removable choke, then that's what you want. But people are loving this part. I've only got a few NP3 left. I probably won't do NP3 again. The threading on the choke is very, very fine. And despite extreme measures that we've taken to make sure that the coating that we put on doesn't add dimension to the threading, it's still very difficult. And I think I've got a number of them where I've got to screw around with it and try to get them to work. But the only ones I made available for sale were ones where everything would screw and mate the way it should. So I may never do NP3 again. So I think I've got 4 or 5 left, and once they're gone, they're probably gonna be gone. I may do other runs in the future, but we'll see, it depends. I haven't had adequate time to look at the ones that got a little bit of dimension added to it such that they wouldn't mate properly. So, maybe it's all, much ado about nothing, but the black I've got, but they have been getting kind of low because, like I said, this summer, this has been one of the items that people have really been picking up. The QD1 and the QD2 for the Benelli M4. Now pictured here is the OEM version. In my hard drive, I'm doing a major end of summer cleanup and consolidation of assets. I have so many pictures and so many videos and so many project files that things have just kind of gotten lost in the mix. So I may have to retake photos of the black ones, but these are the NP3. The black are gonna be the same except they're black and they're glorious. These go with the 70085 stock, and one requires removal of the butt pad. That's the QD2. There's a screw hole underneath the butt pad that allows you to pass through to the little hole on the side of the stock. And you mount it that way. It's nice and secure. And then the other option is actually, I like the QD1 personally myself. I like it a little bit better, but that one you don't have to remove the butt pad on, which is actually a nice thing. Removal of the butt pad can be tricky. Benelli uses Phillips head screwdriver or Phillips head screws, and it requires a Phillips head screwdriver. You have to penetrate the butt pad. That didn't sound right, but you have to be able to get through the butt pad with your screwdriver, and one that's large enough to remove those screws. And the more you go through the butt pad with the screwdriver, the more chance you have that you're going to pull little chunks out of the butt pad and make it kind of unsightly on the back end. I don't think it really matters, but some enthusiasts aren't going to really like that. But the other one does not require removal of the butt pad. When you buy a Freedom Fighter collapsible stock or a skeletonized stock, 70085 FF, you get to select which mount you have and which side you want it mounted on, and I personally build that for you so you don't have to mess with it. I don't do that with the OEM stocks. The OEM stocks are about $300 cheaper than the Freedom Fighter tactical stocks, and it probably has to do with, Benelli makes them by the thousands, I make them by the hundreds, and Benelli makes them in some faraway land where labor is probably cheaper. I make them here in California, in the United States, where labor and energy and environmental fees and all that nonsense jack up the price dramatically. So I made them mainly as a way to have them when there are no collapsible stocks from Benelli available. To my surprise, and that's going to be the third item, and I counted the 2 QDs as one item. To my surprise this summer, and actually since last fall when I released, maybe it was late summer when I released them last year, the Benelli 70085 skeletonized stock that I make has been outselling the OEM 3-to-1 at my store, and I can't even believe it. I figured it would be the other way around maybe, but people are wanting the American made. It does count as a 922R part. I do add the QD to it, and I do it myself so you don't have to do it. And so it shows up, it's nice, it's ready to go. It's stamped underneath, or it's laser marked underneath the butt pad, made in USA, and they're glorious. And that's what the surprise has been, is that they sell 3-to-1 against OEM. I still sell plenty of OEM, but the OEM are coming to a period of being sold out. I talked about this in my status video. I'll talk about it in all my status videos between here and next year, but Benelli's telling me at least 4 months before they start shipping new stocks again. 70085 is their part number. The FF at the end is Freedom Fighter when you do 70085 FF. So that's what my stocks were made for, is if Benelli is ever out or discontinued or supply chain issues, whatever the problem is, we've got you covered. We have skeletonized stocks ready to go at all times, all year long, every year, for now, in perpetuity. So that's that's the third surprise hit. The fourth surprise hit is the 70054V follower. I make them in a charcoal anodized, and I make them in an NP3 coating. And the reason these are kind of a surprise is because, like the collapsible stock, they're more expensive than a traditional follower that me and everybody else seems to make, where they're like, $25, $35, and it's just like a solid red follower, solid green follower. That's what most people buy. But the 70054V, the V stands for vintage. When Benelli's first came out, Benelli M4s came out when I got into it back in the early 2000s. All Benelli M4s came with a 2-piece follower. It was a aluminum follower with a little snap insert piece that snapped into the tip, and they coated their followers in black or charcoal and had that little red tip, and that was kind of like the high vis indicator. So if you're looking through the chamber of the gun, you can see that the gun is empty. There's multiple ways that you're going to know the gun is empty when the gun is empty, but it's a visual indicator, and Benelli used to include that. Most likely as a cost-saving measure, they eliminated that. I don't know if that's the reason, but I can only imagine that that's the only reason, because it was a glorious little part. You don't find that on very many shotguns. It was a nice added touch to the Benelli M4. When you're buying $2,000 shotguns, you want to have all sorts of things that make it a little more fun. They eliminated the two-piece follower, I don't know, sometime in 2015-ish, maybe earlier than that. I don't even remember. There's been so many little changes on this gun in the 18 years that I've been doing business. I think I just closed 17 years, so I'm on my 18th year. But that's one of the items. Last year, we brought back the 70054V follower, and enthusiasts are loving it. It's a nice item. It's a little bit pricier, of course, because it is two-piece, and that little plastic insert doesn't come cheap, but they are glorious. They're beautiful. They're absolutely worth their weight in gold, and it's been a summer kind of hit here at Freedom Fighter. The final item, I said I was gonna do 5 items. The final item is the LimbSaver butt pad for the skeletonized stock. For years, LimbSaver did not do this. I contacted them about a year ago, maybe a little longer, and worked out a deal where they would do the drill hole on, you know, a batch of them, and I buy them now, you know, and I think others even are carrying them at this point because I don't have any sort of an exclusive deal on it. But I did reach out and I told them, I said, hey, look, we've got to sell this thing with the hole already drilled out so people with the collapsible stock can run it, and they did it. I mean, they did their research. It took them no time. They were amazing to work with. We got it done. And that is something that people are doing. They're getting rid of that hard butt pad that nobody likes that Benelli makes. Look, Benelli is, you know, they're the best in the business as far as I'm concerned. They make an amazing shotgun, but that doesn't mean every detail of the shotgun is amazing. And I think the butt pad, I mean, it's just, you know, it's a butt pad. It's just a solid piece of rubber chunk. No one likes it, and the LimbSaver is glorious. It is nice and spongy. And even if you're not bothered by the recoil, even if you don't really need a more comfortable butt pad, it's a nice addition when you've already tricked this gun out to probably the tune of $2,500 to $4,500. I mean, people go nuts with this gun and do all sorts of interesting things. And so, you know, I think the LimbSaver butt pad is under 60 bucks. It's kind of a no-brainer. And when I sell it, so historically and traditionally, LimbSaver does not sell screws with their butt pads, and I changed that years ago. When you buy the LimbSaver butt pad, what you're gonna get is not a Phillips head screw. You're gonna get 2 hex screws that use a hex wrench, which is much easier going through butt pads and doesn't break out chunks of butt pad. If you have to remove the butt pad for any reason, it's very easy to do. It's harder to strip anything. It's just what we do here at Freedom Fighters, try to make it easy on you when you buy your parts. So those are the 5 items. These have been summer hits, and I've been very pleased with the results of some of these items because, you know, they're not some of them aren't necessities. And actually, this gun out of the box is about as close to perfect as you can get. So almost anything you're doing to it isn't a necessity, to be fair. But we love, as enthusiasts, we love to trick out our gun. We love to make it better. You know, some people do it with guns. Some people buy, you know, they buy a Porsche and they drive it down the street and they put new wheels on it and a new fin on it and new seats and a new steering wheel. And what was wrong with everything they pulled off of it that came from Porsche? Nothing's wrong with it. It's just that these guys want something remarkable. They want something better. They want something customized. They want something that appeals to them. They want something that's their, you know, it's their pet project. And that's what we do here at Freedom Fighter. We assist you in that and build this gun to be, you know, as close to perfection as possible. I've always said we're here at Freedom Fighter Tactical, we perfect perfection. So anyway, that's it, folks. I'm glad that you tuned in to watch the video. Thank you so much. Be sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't already. Hit the bell so you're notified of future videos. Be sure to leave a comment down below. And I'm working at doing a lot of content here and on Instagram at Freedom Fighter Tactical. So please join us over there as well. I hope to see you there. Thank you for your support. Take care and be safe.